What is up, savage degenerates? Welcome back to the verse. This is the number one alpha channel in all of crypto. Okay, I want someone to try to tell me any channel out there that's spitting hot fire like Dylan on Chappelle's skit more than Kris and I'll wait for it. I'll wait until I have to die because I know that we are the nastiest dogs in the game. What it do, Kris?
Back out again, my man. Another day, another dollar. And looks like we got a bunch of versions on Twitter right now. So absolutely love that. Probably can't say that because we'll get demonetized. But,
You said it.
you know, just long story short, we had a market tumble. Some stuff is going on with the Japanese yen. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And long story short, everything just started going down. Everyone said that it's the end of the world. And you know what we did? You know what we did?
We cried, went and got into an underground bunker, and got into fetal position.
Yes,
No,
sir. That's what we did. That's what we did.
you know,
We just got into a bunker and said, screw it. Nah, bro. We freaking bought, dude. We were looking at plays like literally on Thursday when we were talking about this scenario. We gave you two plays, one on the ton chain, one on Ethereum. Slam dunk. Memecoins, blue chip gems. They're not going to crash. They have a well established community. And if you listen to us, you could have gotten phenomenal entries on these tokens. If you did, congratulations, you're absolutely crushing it. If you missed it, that's your own fault because you're not taking advantage of these opportunities. So this market correction, we spoke a little bit about this in the past weeks. We said, hey, here's the deal. If we go up and touch here, news event. If we get this market correction and we go to the downside, here are two magnets that are going to hit. And you go back and check it. I'm not going to cut it up and put videos on it. But long story short, this is a healthy correction. And this is not the time to freak out. Everybody keeps saying that this is it. The Bitcoin bull run's over. The Bitcoin bull run isn't over. And the last thing I want to say, because I don't want to harp on this too much, interest rates. You're going to go on every single channel. They're going to tell you some crazy, confusing way of like the M1, the M2, the M3 money supply. I'm going to keep it very simple. Interest rates go up, money leaves the economy. Interest rates go down, money enters economy. When money enters economy, Bitcoin go boom. Bitcoin go boom, you get paid. That is what everyone's focused on. When is money going to hit the market? I see a lot of people on Twitter. They're trying to predict when this is going to happen. They have one person saying that there's going to be an emergency Fed meeting. I wouldn't worry about it. Just wait for the Fed to announce it because when that hits, there's always going to be some sort of market correction. But after that, it's going to be a godsend. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it seems to me like you definitely have influencers out there right now who are wolves in sheep's clothing and leading people astray. And like that's what Kris said when he opened up the stream and talking about these newbies on Twitter right now. You cannot get finessed by these influencers out here saying, this is it. Bitcoin's on the M down. We're going to be done for. We're going back to 15K. No, it's not there yet. It's not there. And like Kris said, we've got to focus on what's going to happen with these interest rates. So that's very vitally important to the next step. So it's almost like, hey, hang in there. Have you ever seen that poster? I know you've seen that poster. It's like a little kitty hanging on a tree. He's just hanging in there. That's the point that we're at right now is just hang in there because they want to manipulate you out of your position. Influencers, uh, big people, big holding big positions. That all of those people alike.
Yeah, I kid you not. Like Crypto Ran made a post after the stock market, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to go lower." And I was like, "Bro, that's a buy signal. I'm buying." And so I got the craziest ETH position just right off the rip. I just like right when he said that, I bought right in, and it was like almost 3% from the bottom. That's how exact it was. And now we're getting into a dead cat potential dead cat bounce, but we'll talk about that when we get to the Bitcoin price charts. We need to talk about what's going on with TitanX because something crazy is happening right now. But ultimately, the one thing I want to say is when it comes to these TA guys and putting out price analysis and saying the price can go here, 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 the best TA guys are going to be the ones that give you 3 price targets. And if they're generous, they might give you 4 or 5, or if it's just some uncertain time, they might give you 2, but it has to be more than 1. Sorry, that was really confusing. The best TA guys are going to give you 3 price targets just off the rip. If you got one person saying that this is going to happen, this is why I predict, and just one scenario, I want to trust that. Just without a doubt, because if you're not thinking about the bullish and bearish scenario and based off of how the market maker is clearly manipulating this market, and I want to make another point here. Ever since we started talking about this market being completely manipulated, everybody's starting saying the same exact thing. We were one of the first people to tell you that there's a market manipulator going on right now. And we saw it with the Ethereum price chart. Like the Ethereum price chart right now does not seem natural. And we've been talking about this. And the reason why we were one of the first ones to say, hey, Ethereum's not dead when everybody was flooding it back in, what was it, July? I mean, not July, June. It was sometime in June. We were the only ones who came out and said, hey, this thing is coming back. And people were going after projects saying, oh, this project's not going to do well because it launched on Ethereum. So, like I said, man, it's simple math. It's simple understanding the market. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about, and just be careful because I'm getting to the point where I can't be on Twitter anymore. I'm just posting just funny stuff because I just don't want to interact with these people. I don't even want to be associated with some of these idiots, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. So, all right, man. Well, let's just let's get into some TitanX because what's going on with the price chart is that it's actually pretty surprising. So let me bring this up real quick. Let's do a quick screen share.
Yeah, hey guys, and while he's amping that up, we got a ton of people in here right now. Even though this market, people are saying this is bearish, it's looking bullish in this stream. We still got a lot of people and definitely a lot of eyes on TitanX, which yes, I couldn't agree more. I think here we are smoothing crypto, definitely living in history with TitanX. Excited to talk about it. In the meantime, can you guys smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, please, so we can get more individuals out there understanding what's going on with TitanX, and then they can understand more about the narratives Kris and I talk about before we analyze TitanX, such as influencers that are a part of a machine versus influencers that are here to give you the spoken word, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to enrich ourselves. We're here to educate and teach. So please like and subscribe while we get into this TitanX segment. Thank you all for joining today.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Absolutely love it. So if you guys have been following us, we've been talking about TitanX frequently, and I'm gonna do full screen on this price chart. So day 280 hit, 9% of the TitanX supply hit, and then I believe yesterday it was right around 3 to 4%. And then tomorrow, I think it's going to be like another 2% that's going to hit the market. Now, our initial prediction, and we didn't do crazy price targets on this one. We were just saying that there's a good chance that there's going to be a dip based off of the amount of supply that hits the market. That's what we initially thought. And I'm pretty much, if you would have asked 100 people, I'll guarantee you probably 90 out of 100 of those people would say the same exact thing. But in this case, that did not happen. Basically, what happened on day 280 is we actually had a little bit of a price increase, and now we're just trading sideways all the way through. So that tells me one of two things. Number one, TitanX is really strong. There's a strong community. And number two, there's a lot of believers. The people that claim TitanX on day 280, they believe in this thing, and they're not going to take that money that's in TitanX, sell into ETH, and get into something else. They're staying in TitanX. And that tells you everything you need to know about what just happened. And I didn't see too much on X. People were like, wow, the price is doing up. It's going up. But you got to analyze the psychology, because when it comes to meme coins and altcoins, it's all about community psychology and the overall market sentiment. And I'll give you guys a little hint in politics. I don't want to go on rant. how a lot of people in politics, companies, and whatnot, they don't necessarily care too much about the product. They care about the public's view on their products and the stuff that they do. And so they do things based off of what the public sentiment is. And based off of that, that's how their company performs. And it's the same thing with these cryptocurrency projects. So overall, the public sentiment behind TitanX is awesome. Absolutely crushing it. Now, here's the second thing I also saw. Today and yesterday, what happened, dude?
What do you mean? With what? What are you asking? I'm sorry,
Ethereum,
you caught me off
Bitcoin.
guard.
Ethereum, Bitcoin. What happened with Ethereum, Bitcoin yesterday?
Oh, it got just absolutely demolished.
TitanX didn't. TitanX did not get demolished. I mean, look, it did a 13% dip, and don't get me wrong, you know, since the launch of this project, the inflation finally set in and we bottomed out. I could basically say that this is definitely a bottom confirmation, because one thing I'm seeing right here, we have the TitanX bottom here, we have a higher low, and another higher low. So we have two higher lows. So that's good confirmation that we bottomed out for right now. So overall, man, what's happening on with TitanX is the price is stabilizing. We're getting closer to that deflationary period. I don't know if this prediction is going to be necessarily true, but I'm going to keep it up there because there might be some more tokens to hit the supply and get sold off. But it's looking phenomenal. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. I think what came to my mind first was I heard once in a group chat. I was reading in this group chat. These two guys were talking, and one of them was crying about the TitanX price, and because it was just out in the dumps, and talking about selling it. And then another guy came in and he really put some perspective on the situation. He said, "Go ahead, you can sell. You'll sell me your future." And so when I heard that, I was like, dude, like the people that really understand this protocol are very, very serious about it. And that seems to be the majority of TitanX holders, and they know what they're holding. So yeah, I think it's an exciting time to be a part of TitanX. It definitely does feel revolutionary, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this price along the way. If it dumps a little bit more, if not, but I imagine if it does dump, those are going to get eaten up.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's looking good overall. So now let's just take a look at the dashboard. I'm actually really excited for this because if you guys have seen the past dashboard, you'll see the amount of tokens coming out. You'll see a massive, massive candle just right off the roof. Now, if you guys just take a look with the TitanX supply, this chart right here, when you guys saw in the past, it actually went up to 10K and now it just auto adjusted to 3K. So this can actually show you what to expect with this protocol. And this is the thing me and Trent have been screaming about for a very long time. So we just had the next claim, and then today is I believe this is probably the 5th or 6th highest TitanX claim day. And then after that, the next big one we're going to look forward to is September 15th, 2024. So what I'm trying to get across is we're going to get to this day right here. And then right after September 15th, I think it was on the 19th, that's when we're going to see that hyper buying come in. And that's when we're going to start to see more TitanX come off the market. Then we get to October, right around October 31st, DragonX kicks in, Helios kicks in. I know the guys over at what's that? Blaze have something kicking in. And then we also have Baby DragonX doing their thing. So overall, with the amount of innovation being built on top of TitanX and the fact that the highest claim day didn't really massacre the chart per se from where it started, and the fact that the chart's holding pretty stable during this crazy this market time, it's pretty awesome. And I think we got a lot to look forward to. Now, one other thing I want to point out, and I want to give a special shout out to Logic. Hopefully I said that right. This guy has been posting about the TitanX buy and burn. And I know a lot of you guys are trying to figure out, like, okay, so is there enough ETH in the actual protocol to burn all the TitanX? And to be completely honest with you guys, me and Trent, we're not exclusive maxi guys. We're not maximalists in any sense. We talk about really cool protocols and we explore, we report on things, and we do research. That's what we do. We don't go too crazy in the weeds of like one protocol, and we're not like exclusively going to be a maxi in any particular community, but We are huge TitanX guys. We're huge supporters, and people in the community have been doing absolute great work. Now, what's going on with this is there's this spreadsheet that comes out, and it talks about, okay, based off of the buy and burn, Helios, Blaze, Hyper, all the protocols built on top of it, how much supply is going to be left. And so based off of that, from my understanding, I believe that there's not going to be, well, a lot of the token, there's enough ETH to burn the entire token supply at the current price of the TitanX token. But also keep in mind, the price is going to fluctuate. So I'm trying to word this in a way that there is plenty of ETH to make TitanX deflationary. Does that make sense, or am I just all over the place?
Yeah,
right now?
no, keep going, bro. Keep going. You're good. You're on track.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so basically they went through this spreadsheet and just looked at all the protocols and how it impacts the entire network. And so from my understanding, just looking at this, it's saying that the average the days remaining for V1, and then over here it says total supply burnable. It says 44 trillion. And so you take the amount of 44 trillion, and it says the amount of mineable is going to be, is that 49 trillion? Yes, so 49 trillion. And then over here it has the estimated total supply. No, that's not right. That's the liquid. That's the mineable. Well, let me look at this real quick, because now, so total estimated to be burnt 92, estimated total supply. Okay, all right, I get it now. So sorry, I'm all over the place. Let me zoom in right here. This is what we're looking for.
Twitter's not gonna let you zoom in like that on there.
All right, so it says right here, total estimated supply to be burnt, and I believe that's 92 trillion. Estimated total supply 100 trillion, and then liquid supply after all burns 8 trillion. So the main point I'm trying to get across is what with 8 trillion left over, that means there's enough Ethereum on the market to burn over 92% of the TitanX token supply, which means sooner or later it's going to reach this point of where it goes from inflationary to hyper deflationary. Sorry about that, man. I got so confused looking at the spreadsheet. So
honestly, it didn't come out as bad as you thought. I'm on track, and if I am, because I'm a dummy, I think a lot of our audiences, because they're way smarter than me, they tune in to listen to you just like I do. So
yeah. So I think the main point of what I'm trying to get across with that spreadsheet and what I'm showing you with the numbers is we're going to have a period of time where a lot of TitanX is going to be burnt. A lot of this is controlled. It's like control burns. Now, when it comes to the network effect behind TitanX, the value is not only behind these buy and burns and all the burns behind the token, it's also based off of the projects building on top of it. So not only is TitanX doing its thing and continuing to build out an ecosystem, but the projects developing on top of it is what's also going to push it closer to that deflationary period. So overall, I like the layout. I love how this all played out. And yeah, man. So just want to take a little look around, see if anything else we need to cover on this. Yeah, so it looks like nothing else really new change, except we're just going to have a more tokens just hit the market coming on that September 15th time frame. Yeah, so good stuff, man. Anything? Oh, actually, last thing we need to talk about. Let's take a look at Hyper real quick. So Hyper's been surprising me, dude. This thing has been trading sideways since the Vortex was actually activated, and it's actually been holding a pretty steady level. And in my opinion, a lot of people faded what's going on with Hyper, and I firmly believe that I need to look at the stats, but there's not that much Hyper coming out, and I believe the Hyper mining has been picking up for, I think it was like 3 months down the road. So when we start to see that Ethereum buy and burn come in, there's a good chance that we might see a massive supply shock behind Hyper. Now, on top of that, the one thing I want to show real quick. Do I have the website right here? Yeah, here we go. Let's go to the website. Let's go to calculator. And then let's take a look at, was it cool? So right now, the ROI on these miners are sitting at about 45%. So the real question is, can it maintain this profitability going through with the 88-day miner links going on to the future within that 3-day mark? And that's going to be extremely important to see how it impacts TitanX overall. So yeah, man, TitanX, dude, it's looking really, really good. Any final thoughts on Hyper or TitanX?
Well, I mean, last stream we talked about synergy, and then it's really just hitting me thinking about it. Just looking at it, pretty much 1 year later as of now. I mean, we're close to 1 year on the TitanX anniversary, right?
Yeah, that's actually that's in October 28th. So
So just imagine all that's been built already in just less than 1 year on top of this, and it can only get better with more synergy. Bro, this thing is a beast that I don't think a lot of people understand. You can't really build on top of it and damage the system. So it kind of to me is almost like the sky's the limit, dude. And whoever has their hands on this thing early is going to be seeing some crazy supply shocks with all these different protocols being built. So, dude, it's just exciting to me because it feels like it only gets better, and it's like, dude, it blows my mind to see how quickly these people turned around. It literally felt like just yesterday, TitanX was being launched, and then all of a sudden you have literally an entire ecosystem built on top of it, and it doesn't have, it's not the founder that's championing all these things. It's devs, it's smart, some of the smartest people probably out there deciding, hey, this is going to be the best ecosystem to build on. So, dude, I'm more bullish than ever. I'm excited. I'm glad to see hyperminers where they're at right now. I think we've been talking about that for 2 weeks. So, bro, it's just an exciting time to be a part of TitanX.
yeah, man, it's really good, and I'm excited to see this ecosystem built out. And like I said, the story's not over. I think it's just beginning. So
Yeah,
cool.
definitely. 10 months and all these protocols, it's crazy, bro.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of these projects we told you guys about on Thursday. And then, the best part about it was I gave you guys price targets on these 2 coins that we were targeting during this downside. I gave you price targets, and they're actually looking pretty good. So I'm going to do a quick screen share real quick. Now, the first token I was telling you guys about was Bobo. And if you guys have been in the meme coin space, you probably know that Bobo is very similar to what we saw with Pepe. It was one of the projects that came out right when Pepe started booming. And it also absolutely crushed, and it caught everybody by surprise. So I really like Bobo. I've been waiting to get an entry, and I basically got my entry on this Black Friday sale discount. So let me just go back here to this chart. I know that sounds so weird, but
Deep discounts, baby. Look at that deep discount.
so check this out. Last time we talked, what was it? Thursday, right? When was Thursday? That was the, hold on. I need to look at my so that was on the 1st, okay? So that was August 1st, right here. We started dipping down. I said, okay, so here's your little box of opportunity. We got a level right here, which I believe that's about 18%. So we'll say that's about, hold on, why is this thing so far up? All right, so we'll say that was like, I think that was like a $60 million market cap. And then we dipped all the way down to right here, which was sitting at about right here, which is about 37 million. And so this magnet right here, I'll show you this magnet. It came from this original all-time high. So you have a top here, a top here, a top here, a top here, and top here. A lot of guys, what they're going to do is they're going to put it like right here, like, oh, well, we got more touches right here, or we can go right here. Nah, dude, you go for the highest one, because most of the time, these will always get front ran. You're not going to catch it. So we put it right here. This thing goes into free fall down to almost a $37 million market cap. You had an opportunity to get Bobo at a $37 million market cap. That means if it went to 370 million. That's a 10x. It went to 3.7 billion. That's a 100x. If it went to, was it 37 billion? That's a 1000x. And something like this can easily hit a $37 billion market cap. So these are the best opportunities to get. And this is a blue chip meme coin. On top of that, community strong. I see these little Bobo bears all over the place. To be honest, I don't really understand it. I'm not smart enough to figure this stuff out. But long story short, it has meme, has a great community, and I think this is going to be in the billions. Any thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, man, it's cute. It's sloppy. It's old. It precedes Pepe, I believe. So it's heavy. It's a heavy hitter. And then we just got it into that box of opportunity. So when you called me today, you were like, "Yo, Bobo." That was the first thing you said to me was Bobo. I was like, "Let's go," because we have been talking about Bobo for probably 3 months. I know we saw that initial run up to all time high right there, and we were hurting because we hadn't bought. So it's good to be able to get in, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and right now it's trading at a oh my god, why can I never remember this thing? A Fibonacci retracement. I can never remember Fibonacci, but so basically it's trading at the 236 right now. And so it's probably going to be holding here for a minute unless we get some sort of other crazy market news. So keep in mind, I don't know how this market's going to play, but this magnet is still going to be in play if we get any more craziness happening in. But in my opinion, a lot of it's already been priced in. And the only way this thing would probably do another dip is if we got another crazy event that can top what just happened. Or maybe we're in the beginning of that, but I don't want to give too much away because we're going to get into the Bitcoin price chart. And you don't really want to correlate the news with the price chart because the price chart typically tells you what the news is. And if you watch the news, it messes up your head. But the one thing I will say is if we come down here and touch down at this magnet, 6 zeros and a 3-6, that's going to be another great opportunity if we come and retest that. Otherwise, we'll probably trade sideways at the 236 for a little bit. And then once this market starts to turn around, Bobo is going to pop a lot faster than you think because a lot of institutional investors have been getting into this project. There's a lot of whale wallets have been tracked. And in my opinion, I think this is a project that a lot of you guys are going to hear about more. Now, next project I want to talk about because we were talking about this on the dip. Resistance Dog. This was another project we told you guys about. And I can't wait to show you guys the magnet I drew for you guys. Because guess what? This magnet that I drew for you guys hit it right on the freaking dot. Right at, was it $20 million market cap? Drew it right on live stream, dude. At a $20 million market cap. Came down, touched right here, and now it's coming back up here. And it's trading close to this all-time high. So, I mean, I'll just do it on this live stream. Technically, should be actually no. I'm just gonna leave it. Well, no, it's good TA to move it. So this one should be a little bit lower, but this one was right on the money. So right now, it's basically trading at this magnet, and then you have a magnet right here, and this is just your box of opportunity going sideways. If you guys believe in Ton Chain, or if you think Ton Chain is going to be a crazy player because of the developer, the possible involvement with BRICS, because there's some involvement with Russia, this is going to be the number one leverage bet on the Ton ecosystem. Do you remember who was the founder of Ton Chain? I'm doing this.
I can't remember his name. I feel like it's got to be Sergi or something, but it's probably not. You want me to look it up real quick?
Pavel Durov. Yeah, Pavel Durov. So here's the thing about Ton Chain. I got a lot of friends that like this blockchain, and we like this blockchain. So we do think it's going to be a huge play. There is an involvement between what's going on with a lot of businessmen in Eastern Europe, per se. I'm not going to go in too much detail. And there is plans to have Ton Chain be the premier blockchain for that region. So in my opinion, this will be a phenomenal play, especially since they're so hardcore with the Ton Chain. And then here in the Western world and in China, Ethereum is going to be the dominant play. Ethereum has ties to China, has ties to a lot of the big tech guys here in the US. kind of gives you an idea of what this thing's turning into. So in my opinion, because resistance dog sits in the middle of that, dude, this thing could easily go anywhere from $1 billion to, gosh, I would say 40 billion, depending on how Ton Chain does. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think study Telegram is really important to understand Ton Chain. If you can understand Telegram and its founder, you will understand Ton Chain, and you'll be able to dig a little bit deeper. Like Kris said, I'm not going to go completely deep on that, but there are a couple questions here that I want to clear up just to make sure. This question, real quick here.
Where and how to buy Redo? Okay, so if you're gonna get into resistance dog, what you have to do is you have to bridge over to the Ton chain. You can do that on RocketX exchange. So you just type in RocketX on Google. You go over there, make sure you set up a Ton wallet. I forgot the name of the Ton wallet producer. I mean, who I need to put out a tweet about this. So you set up a wallet for the Ton blockchain, and then you can use an exchange called StoneFi. And then StoneFi is going to be the main chain for Ton chain. Let me make sure I double check that. Was it StoneFi? Hold on.
And I'm looking at the wallets right now. Guys, there's a lot of wallets here on Ton's website, on ton.org. So that would probably be the best place to start for your own personal wallet.
Yeah. Stone.fi. So here's make sure it pops up and make sure it's correct. But so the main exchange for Ton chain is going to be Stone STON.fi. So I'm gonna just share right here. STON.fi. I don't know why. Did I say that right? Ston or Stone? Whatever. I don't care. But
it looks like you're right, man.
Yeah. So you can just come over here, and a really good way to figure out what wallet address you need to do is if you can just find the exchange, and then you go to the exchange and you hit connect wallet right here. When you connect wallet, it's going to pop up all the supported wallets. So you can use TonKeeper, my Ton wallet. You can go here to view all wallets. OKX has a wallet. There's TonHub, and then they have OpenMask. So whichever one you want to use. We use TonKeeper. So that's the main one. So cool. Any other questions?
I think that's it. I think the other one was if Bubba was on ETH or Solana, and it looks like our buddy Gugod here, he says it's ETH, and that's what I do believe is correct. The answer is correct.
Cool, yeah. Gugod's right. All right. Now, let's just take a look at these Fibonacci levels real quick. So it seems like after this correction, a lot of this is just following these Fibonacci levels, and a lot of these blue chip meme coins are sitting at the 236. So what this is telling me is we're getting into a accumulation zone. There's a ton of focus on the macro environment, and we're not going to get into the macro, but because there's so much attention on the macro, a lot of these altcoins are not going to move until we start to see Bitcoin, Ethereum do its thing. When Bitcoin, Ethereum move, then everything else is going to follow along. So what I suspect for projects like Redo, Bubba, you can even say Pepe or just any whatever blue chip meme coins. These are blue chips. These aren't degens. These are projects that are going to be around for the rest of the market, and they're going to be like the L1s of this cycle. A lot of them are probably going to be trading really close to this 236, trading sideways, and then it's going to come up into what I call the golden pocket. And typically in the golden pocket, what they'll do is they'll come up here and just fluctuate, and then boom, come up to the next level, boom, come to the next level, maybe correct and test, and then come back up. So in my opinion, because you're trading very close to the 236 level, this is going to be your area opportunity to get in. As for price targets for Redo, actually, yeah, I'll give you guys some price targets for Redo. So what I would love to see with Redo is it comes here, maybe come back down here, test this level out a little bit more, come back up here, test this level out, and then hit this level, and then just form a beautiful inverse head and shoulders. And once you see that pattern, it's probably going to be much more bullish. And then boom, we're going to go up and test all-time highs. So that's probably how the level is going to be. So some prices to look out for. If we dip down again, it's going to be that 19 cent line. if we just trade sideways, it's going to be somewhere between, I'll probably say 25 cents and 35 cents. So that's going to be a great accumulation zone. And if we start coming up here and testing 47 cents, there's good potential that we might start to push to the upside and try to test all-time highs. Does that make sense?
Volatility is the price you pay.
Yeah,
For the
man.
best
So,
performing asset. Hey, I like it, man. I love seeing that down in the dirt like that. Hey, it looks like we got 122 guys in here before we said anything about Bitcoin. And so we're really excited for you. So glad that you made it to this part of the stream. Thank you so much. If you're here still, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you have not yet, definitely you want to turn on bell notifications because that's how you know we're about to stream. And these notifications, they are honestly time sensitive. If you watch our stream the same day, it's going to be a lot more helpful than 3 days later. So I've seen people shoot themselves in the foot because they didn't watch the stream on the right day.
yes, sir. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about Bitcoin, and then we'll probably do one or two price charts after this and just keep it moving. So what is going on with Bitcoin? And let's just take a look at the weekly because that was probably one of the craziest weekly closes I've ever seen. What's today? Monday? Yeah. That was probably one of the gnarliest weekly closes we've ever had. So we're just basically trading in a massive bull flag. Just as of right now, we're trading all the way down. So we have a upper bound, we have a lower bound. I might just get rid of the no, I'll keep these levels in. So these blue lines, beautiful bull flag coming in. And so right up here, right when we hit about 67K, came back down, boom, and then went into the next week, and then boom, came back down, touched right here, and then came way back up. So what's going on with Bitcoin right now? So we talked about potential price targets. So we said that, hey, if we came up here to close to 70, 71K, expect a news event, positive or negative. If it's positive, price discovery. If it's negative, we're coming back down. So it turns out it was actually super duper negative. We came back down, and then we tested out this previous level we were talking about. So we're talking about if we start to go below and we start going below, I think I can't remember what was the level. I think it was, I believe it was 62 or 63K. Then we'll have to come down and either test out 53, and the worst case scenario, come down and test out 49. So what I'm seeing on the Bitcoin price chart is we came down, touched right here, and then now we're wicking back up. So all eyes are on right now whether or not this is what we call a dead cat bounce. Do you know what a dead cat bounce is?
I'm about to find out. That's why I love this section.
All right. So we had a massive wick down on the weekly, and now we're getting down to the 4-hourly. I do not like to go very small in a time frame. We call this the crackhead scale. The reason why is because you can really get inside your head. When you go in a very small time frame, you got to be extremely careful because you can see stuff on the chart that seems really bullish, but it's actually going to turn up bearish. So for example, right here, Adam and then an Eve right here, right? And if you were like, oh my God, it's an Adam Eve, we're about to explode, boop, down. So this is why the 4-hourly, you got to be careful. And, this is like a day trader format. So we came right down here and test about, it was like 49,624. I'll just say 49 and a half. Came back down, and then boom, we had a recovery bounce. So you see how this big green candle comes up right here? That's basically people saying like, oh my God, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. We're coming back. And then a little bit of a correction, and then another dip. So there's two scenarios where this could happen. And this all depends on tomorrow's daily close. If this thing could potentially come up and then come back down. And if it comes back down and it surpasses that 49K level, this is called a dead cat bounce. Basically came back in, boom, up. And then people are just like, okay, I'm buying in. We're reversing this. We're coming back. And then nope, see down, come back down later. So that's essentially what a dead cat bounce is. Now, on the flip side, there's also a reverse dead cat bounce, which is for more so bullish trends, where it seems like the price is coming down and it's over. and then people start selling, and then a bunch of people buy, and then it goes back up. So we'll probably do something like this. So yeah, it's like boom, boom, boom. You come back down, and then a reverse dead cat bounce. You see it come down, and then a bunch of buyers come in and say, nope, we ain't going lower, and then boom, just like that. It's called reverse dead cat bounce. So this is what we're looking for. And then shout out to Guga, because me and Guga, we were talking about this a little bit earlier about this next daily close. If we see the daily, so what I would love to see on this daily close, it's probably going to be somewhere in the 44, 54, and 55 range. Then we get the next daily close, which is the one I'm honing in on. If we get a beautiful little green doji, or we get, let me look at the price, or an inverted hammer, or some sort of really bullish candle, whether it's a hammer, doji, I don't know, whatever, and it has that little green mark on it, there's a good chance that we might start to trade sideways and just keep going sideways for a little bit. But if we close a little bit lower, there's a good chance that we might come back down here, hit 53K, and then start testing 48K, 48, 49K again. So that's why that next daily close is extremely important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So a small doji is going to be better than if it turns out red on the daily.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And so we're basically, we're just basically looking for some sort of doji, which will show a bottom out. And then we also want 2 candle confirmations. So we get like a doji and another little green candle. That means that, hey, we're bottoming out. We're going to trace sideways for a little bit. If we get a doji and then another red candle, then that could go back down. So this is where we're in this area where we're not really sure. But based on what I'm seeing, this is a massive wick. We're probably going to trade sideways for a little bit before we start making our next move. Now, hey, you still there, dude? I think you're frozen a little bit. Oh, he dipped out. So we got the neutral case. We also have a little bit of a bullish case, but also one other thing I'll point out. If we hit this, oh, there he is. What's up, man? You still there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay, cool. So another case is we're sitting here and we have the 49K level. Now, if we hit that 49K level, there is a magnet. I'll point it out right here. There is something sitting at about, I would probably say it's probably going to be about 44,000, like right here. So we could come back down to this level and test that out. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we got the stuff going on with the interest rates, and I don't want to go too crazy about it. But what the Federal Reserve is going to do, and what all the economists and all of them, I mean, they don't know what they're doing, but the one thing that they do before they implement policy is they sit there and they watch what happens. They watch how the market reacts. They see, like, will the price recover or will it continue to go down? And if the traditional TradFi markets keep going down, that's when they're going to step in and start doing the interest rates cuts. They don't do it right away. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna speculate too.
So they're going to speculate and see how the data works out, and then there's a good chance we'll get a cut in September, and that's what we need for liquidity to hit the market. But for right now, they're just trying to see, did they break something? That is what we're looking for right now. And so that's why I want to put out these lower bearish scenarios, because if we hit these levels, I don't want you guys to be surprised. Now, the best case scenario is we trade a little bit sideways, and there's very well a chance that we could do something called a V-shaped recovery. Now, I want to just go back and show you guys what happened with COVID right here. So this dip was similar to what we saw with COVID. Came in, boom. I think it was starting on March 7th, and we crashed about, was it? Bro, that was like 58%. We crashed 58%. And this one, we crashed 33%, I believe, or 32%. And everybody was crying on Twitter, dude. So
it's not even close.
Bro, I remember when this thing happened, dude. When that COVID crash hit, dude, it wasn't like, I mean, everybody was so scared, dude. We were just like, what's going on? Especially with Bitcoin. And man, I swear more people scream and cry about it nowadays. So cool. So from there, we get about, how many bars is this? Is this like 54 bars? So about 54 days. And then we get back to pretty much from where the market dip happened. So the main point I'm trying to get across is if we were to have a Bitcoin recovery, it's probably going to be something similar to what we see right here. We get a dip down. We get a dip down right here. We get a higher low. And then we get another higher low. And that gives us our confirmation that we bottomed out. And then we slowly come back until we reach that all-time high level. And so what we see right here, and I forgot how to copy fractals. Actually, I don't really like copying fractals because people keep doing. You know what copying fractal is?
No, I have no idea.
So you see these like little price chart lines. You can actually copy them and then paste them onto another part of the chart. So I can't remember how to do it. I do it later. But so as for the Bitcoin price chart, if this turns out to be the bottom, what would most likely happen is it comes back up here, and oh, man, it's probably going to do something like this. Come up, higher low, trade sideways, and all it's going to do is form this V-shaped recovery. And then once we get closer to October or September, so like that, that's when it's going to be go time. So that this is also within the realm of possibility. So right now you got 3 scenarios. We come back down, we touch 49, worst case scenario, touch 44, or we start this V-shaped recovery, as I like to say, and we come all the way back up here. As to how fast this will happen, well, last time it was 54 days. So if it was 54 days from when that happened, that will put us at about, oh, look at that. I'm actually pretty close. September 24th, 2024. So if we follow the same scenario or similar scenario to COVID, there's a good chance that if we do this V-shaped recovery, we'll hit all-time highs right around September 21st, 2024. And then we can go back up and maybe get into price discovery and get into the crazy part of the bull market. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it just it blows my mind that you could send a new price prediction out by just a few days in the market, just taking a blunder like that and pushing it out. So pushing the price prediction out to be able to go out till September, and then everyone's thinking we were going to blow up top in May or the summer, and then now it's just not happening. And so I think the critical thing to understand here is just don't if you've come this far, don't get shaken out now, especially with, like Kris just pointed out, this is a 30% dip. I mean, you can go through even more pain and still stick around. So I think anyone that endures any of this right here, man, earns it. Definitely earned it. And yeah, it's going to be cool to see what happens in September.
Yeah. So overall, man, it's looking pretty good, and I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, to be honest with you guys, like right here, dude, you should be buying. Whether like even if you don't want to be idiots like us and buy meme coins, there's nothing wrong with just sticking some of that into Ethereum or Bitcoin. Not financial advice, because it's better holding that than the dollar in your bank account. Plus, banks might become insolvent, but that's like a 5-hour conversation. But we'll talk about that later. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Boo boo. All right. So let's take a look at the monthly on the Bitcoin chart. Wow. It's look at this, dude. This thing looks like it's about to rip outside this triangle. All right. So what we're sitting at right here, 57%. We wicked up to about 57.34%. 100 monthly moving average is sitting at about 58.49%. So how I see this playing out, while we have the market trading sideways a little bit, this thing's going to catch up. And in my opinion, and based on what I was looking at, there's a good chance that when this makes this connection, it's going to be like a little wick right here, right? It's going to come up like a very, very small wick. It's going to do like a little wick, come up, and then boom, come back down. Something like that. Just how, and keep in mind, this is a monthly, so it's a very high time frame. So what I'm seeing right now is if this thing keeps coming down, It's probably going to intersect sometime in, I'll probably say September to October timeframe is when you get that intersection, and then boom, breakdown altcoin season. So I would probably say the best prediction for altcoins, I would say October. Yeah, I think altcoin season is going to happen in October. I think that's a safe bet. So that's one thing I'm keeping a close eye on. Let's just take a look at the weekly. Let's get rid of that. So right now, the weekly, what we're seeing with Bitcoin dominance is just trading inside of this. Now, as we start to see these candles get a little bit smaller and the trading range going down a little bit, that means you're going to start to see exhaustion with buyers and sellers. And so as this continues to get smaller and gets closer to this point, that's where you're going to reach your breaking point of a massive breakdown. So overall, what we'll probably see is this will continue to come back into this little pizza or this rising wedge. And then once we hit that 100 monthly moving average, 100 monthly simple moving average, it's go time, baby. Any thoughts on that?
Do we? So would you say that if we're thinking forward, that Bitcoin is going to be possibly taking the recovery V? Let's just say that it's taking some time to get back up to all-time highs. Then that means that it's going to be a good position for altcoins in the next 2 months coming into October.
Yeah.
Because of Bitcoin's position.
Yeah, when this thing goes up, altcoins get slaughtered. Very simple. When this goes up, altcoins get slaughtered. When you see this red candle right here, that's when altcoins start to run. That's when you get like a meme coin boom. I think right here we saw, what's it, Brett on base crushed it, started going that little red candle, boom. Brett on base goes full send. And then one right here, dog with that. So when you see these green candles come up, that's when you should be buying altcoins. When you see these green candles when you see a bunch of red candles going down, you got to be very careful. You got to make sure that it's not an altcoin that's ran before. So, yeah. Man, I think Bitcoin dominance is looking phenomenal. I'm just getting excited, man, because I'm telling you, dude, when September hits, dude, bro, it's going to go by so fast, and it's going to shock a lot of people. And I think like halfway through altcoin season, people are going to be like, bro, we're not in altcoin season. Get out of here. We're not in altcoin season. But if you're watching this live stream, you will know, because I will tell you the stuff that's going on in the market. And I will also fight a lot of battles over this because, chances are if I go out and say it, then people are going to hit back and yada, yada. So we won't get into that. All right. Tether dominance. Holy smokeroonies, dude. Look at that, dude. Tether dominance went up to 7% from that dip. So I can already
out, bro.
Yeah, dude, I can already tell you right now what happened was a bunch of people converted to Tether dominance, waited for Bitcoin to drop, and then came down to this like 6% level. So yeah, man, it's looking pretty interesting. Right now, this is a bear flag. And like I said, we are waiting. We are just sitting here patiently waiting for this to break down, because the minute Tether actually, let me bring that back. Because the minute Tether dominance starts to break down, that's when we're going to see a lot of money come into Bitcoin. I wonder if I can superimpose this real quick. Let's do this. Let's see if we can do BTC. No. Where are you? Is it indicators? No, is this? Okay, cool. Same, no, do new price scale. All right, cool. All right. So I'll show you why Tether dominance is going to be extremely important. Well, I don't know why this thing won't let me go down. Okay, let's bring this up. Let's bring this down. All right, this will be good. All right. I got a lot of stuff right here. All right, so basically, you see, this is the price of Bitcoin. It came up to about 68K, and then boom, tether dominance. And then right when the price of Bitcoin came all the way down, tether dominance started going up to about 6% right here. So the reason why tether dominance is extremely important is once we get a massive breakdown, this means we're probably going to start to see the closer to the top of Bitcoin. And then once we start to see tether dominance slowly come up, that means altcoin season is gradually ending. So Bitcoin dominance is going to tell you the start of altcoin season, and tether dominance is going to tell you the ending of altcoin season. That is why these are the two most important charts. We can look at others. We can look at this chart. We can look at the price of gold. I want to look at the charts that will tell you the start and the ending, so I know when to start going crazy and when to slow down. And that's the main point of why I'm looking at tether dominance. So right now, you guys saw this massive break up. After this breakup, it's starting to wick down because people are slowly getting back into tether. So what I suspect is as this continues to climb, tether dominance will probably come down to, what was our target? Like 2%, right around 2.6 or 2.5%, and then curl back up and then continue to climb going into the next bear market. So overall, man, it's looking pretty good. I'm still waiting for that tether dominance breakdown, and then once that happens, bro, we're gonna be in full scale altcoin season. So, all right, let's take a look.
These are my favorite charts, man, because you're taking pretty complex topic and you're making it real simple, just right there for the viewing pleasure. I mean, those charts basically look like mirrors of each other, and it breaks down that complex topic of how do we get out of the market? Well, let's just monitor this tether and see what happens. If people are going into tether, then you'll know. So I love how you broke that down just now, so that people know what's the point of altcoin, the altcoin index, and what's the point of tether. Thank you for making that elementary, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Yeah, and like I said, you know, the one thing I will say is when you see this happen, it's gonna be some sort of breakdown like this, and it's gonna come in here, and then it's gonna go burp like that. When you see this formation, it's going to be something similar to what's happening right here. It might not be the exact same time frame. Right here is going to be that peak of that altcoin season, and then once you start to see this slowly, gradually go up, run for the hills. I don't know how many times I'm going to really bring this chart up and how much I'm going to mention it, but I want to let you guys know there's 150 of you guys in here. Run for the hills once you see tether dominance start to creep up. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin. I mean Ethereum. Why not? Why did I say Bitcoin? Yeah, dude, just look at this freaking chart, dude. This thing looks manipulated to a T, dude. My God. Up, sold, up. And it's like a big M. It's like telling you where you're going to work after this bull market, McDonald's. That's what I'm seeing.
You need to superimpose an M right there, bro.
Superimpose an M. All right, so, wow. And then look at that, dude. Our magnet hit it right on the T, 21.23. That is crazy. We had the magnet pulled out perfectly for our low time frame. All right. So what am I seeing with Ethereum? It's probably going to be the same case with Bitcoin because of what's going on with the stock market. What we're trying to see is we're looking at the next 2 daily closes, and I'm just going to focus on that right now. So we came back down, knife down to about 21.09. What I would love to see is some sort of green hammer, a doji, and then a second green candle so that we can get that bottom confirmation. And we got 3 scenarios. We got 2 scenarios, which are going to be the bearish. The bearish one is we come back down and we test out 2,120. That's going to be your next level because there is a clear magnet right there on the chart, and and the magnet we created hit it to a T. The next level that we could potentially hit, and this is extreme bear case, so I don't know if this is going to necessarily play out, but there is one. Hold on. Let me look at the weekly real quick. I need to zoom out because I know I was looking at this earlier. Let me look at the monthly. Typically, some of these magnets are easier to see at higher time frames. Okay, yeah. So you can make a case where about, yeah, right here. About 1730. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, put it like right up here. Then let's go to the daily. Okay. So scenario number 2, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but this is an extremely, extremely bearish scenario. We could come down here and touch 1780. That is within the realm of possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's in play. So you got 2127 and then 1780. Now, if we go back to the COVID dip, which was right about here, it looks exactly like Bitcoin, exactly what happened with Bitcoin. And so if we measure this out, let's just look at the recovery. So this recovery was a little bit longer. So this one took about 86 days. So because Ethereum was lagging a little bit behind Bitcoin. So chances are, even though I believe this chart is extremely market manipulated, the best play out for Ethereum right now is it's going to be something similar to what we see. Come here, just come here, and then just do this nice V-shaped recovery coming up, just like that. And historically, we said since that happened, it's 86 days. So we'll probably see a recovery, if it follows the same line, right around October 24th for Ethereum. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's what we're looking. Actually, hold on. Let me go a little bit further back.
And I think that's when you just said altcoin season was a good bet to say, because I don't think you've even made any kind of predictions on altcoin season as of thus far.
Yeah, October. That's what I think. So yeah, we'll probably see Ethereum recover by right around October, and then that's when we could potentially start seeing get into price discovery, or it could go a little bit sooner because of what we're seeing with the ETH ETFs. But these are your 3 possibilities. You got a bearish case, a bullish case, an extreme bearish case because of what just happened on the market. So 3 price levels, come back up to 35.73, come back down, test out 21.28, or we go to the extreme nuclear end, 1780, which I don't think is going to happen, but is within the realm possibility. And the main thing you need to pay attention to are the next 2 daily closes. Where does this candle close out? And then where does the next candle close out? And then the second one for confirmation. And that will tell us how this V-shaped recovery will happen. And the best part about it is we got a live stream on Thursday because we will tell you what we think is going to happen. So
2 days, that's all we need, bro. Give it 2 days and then we'll give you the alpha right up front and center as it comes in. Going hot off the press around here.
yeah. So as for investment strategies, the best thing you do is just dollar cost average in. If you're looking at a project that you've been interested in, the best thing to do is always dollar cost average in. Don't just go hand over fist, just throw the nuclear bomb and just buy everything all at once. You know, there's nothing wrong with just putting in a little bit every single day and do it over the course of a week. Because I guarantee you, by I don't know if this recovery happens in a month or a week or whatnot, but the prices are definitely going to be better by the end of this year. So that's why I got on that. Cool. So what are we sitting at? Now or 4 minutes.
Hour and 4.
All right. What price chart should we talk about? We'll do 1 or 2. What are you thinking? Well, let's just do Omikami. You want to look at Omikami?
Yeah, bro. A lot of these coins are looking the same right now. So yeah, let's just check out Omikami, bro. Might as well, bro. I think we just introduced this one last week, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, no, that's a good point. They all do look the same, but I mean, I'll just go into the theory about that little magnet bound that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this down a little bit. That's a massive wick. So just like the rest of these tokens and what we were talking about earlier, especially with Omikami, we're still in that accumulation phase and we're still trending at the 236 Fibonacci line. So in my opinion, it's going to follow what we see with Redo, Bobo, and a lot of these other blue chip meme coins. And in my opinion, this is a great opportunity to get into something like Omikami, which is connected to Ryoshi. So yeah, Omikami is actually looking really phenomenal. And the one thing I was impressed by this this chart is they actually had a dip before this, sitting at about 16. Well, what was that, like a $16 million market cap, and then wicked all the way back up. And when this dip happened, dude, not many people sold Omikami. It actually held up like a champ. So what that tells me is there's so many diamond hands behind it. So daily actually looks a lot better than most charts. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly close, yeah, weekly close actually wasn't too bad. Still closed out a little bit higher. Yeah, so weekly close wasn't too bad. And then let's just take a look at the monthly. I don't know if we look at the monthly on this one. Wow, the monthly on this one looks beautiful, dude. So came up, green candle, boom. Had a potential bearish engulfing candle, but got eaten up with that wick. And then now we're sitting here. So I'm definitely going to be interested to see how this monthly close happens with Omikami. So cool. All right, man. Well, I think we covered a lot. We gave out a lot of alpha. So I think that's all I got for price charts and all the projects. You got anything else, man?
No, that's a ton. And you know, like I said, like I was just saying to Kris, you know, about a lot of those price charts looking the same right now. It's because a lot of them, they're in that zone of accumulation. So, you know, if you're wanting to buy, or you've been sidelined, or you want to move or shake the way that Kris and I do, listen to what I said earlier. How long did I say we've been looking at Bobo for? I mean, we've been looking at Bobo for probably 4 months now, 3 to 4 months, sidelined, waiting for the opportunity to get in. So now is a good time to go back and look at some of the old other live streams that we talk about some of these coins in, and some of these price targets, and see where they're at now. Maybe compare and see that you might be even at a better entry now. So I think that now is a good time to definitely go back and look at some of the live streams that we've done over since May, because we're diamond handing everything that we've talked about since May. So
Yeah.
anything you look at, you're going to be like, okay, this might have some potential.
Yeah, and the other thing, you actually brought up a great point about projects that just came to my mind. So if you're looking at dollar cost average in and you don't know which one to get into, if you think about it, ETH just had like a gnarly dip. And let's say you put like $1,000 into ETH and then it recovers and goes up 20, 30%. Well, most of the altcoin market is going to follow that 20, 30% dip. So by positioning yourself into ETH, you're going to accumulate any sort of rebound on the market. And then from there, you can go and speculate on altcoins. So the main point I'm trying to get to say is like, if you're stressed about getting Bobo, if you're stressed about getting Shiba Inu, Pepe, or whatnot, by just getting into ETH and then you get that market rebound, that percentage will get factored in. I don't know. Does that make sense, or that made that too complicated?
No, it does make sense, man. I mean, and if you look too back on the live stream, you'll see right now that ETH's sitting lower than the last time we told you that it was not dead. And I think Gugod brought up a good point earlier in the chat. What did he say?
Just pop it up on the screen.
I'm trying to find it real quick. Oh, right here. I love this right here. This is not financial advice, but where you're talking to some people who know how to move through this market specifically. This market is not the 2020 market. And we're seeing that too from looking at the TA and how it's going to differ. And, you know, we talked about a box of 85 days after the COVID. These things could be different and change, but you know, these are the fundamentals. These are key fundamentals that we're talking about right here. And it's whether you like it or not, whether you think ETH, like I already saw one guy in here, you know, he says ETH is bad tech. You don't understand ETH if you think it's bad tech. Period. Plain and simple. You don't get the narrative. So if you think it's bad tech and you think it's going somewhere, you need to do more research, you know, and you need to stick around here, because this is the winner's zone. This is the winner's circle. This is what we do here. We win in perpetuity. You know, that's why it's taken a long time for this channel to grow, is because guys that are here, they've stuck with us the life of this, because we're giving you good calls and it's coming out of the purity of our heart. So if you have not yet, we got 145 in here. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, share the stream, quote it in your tweets. That's how we're going to grow. That's how these bags are going to grow, guys. That's the way we should do crypto. It's supposed to be all of us wag me, right? We all gonna make it. Work for your bag, support your favorite influencers, guys. We're micro influencers. We're just out here spending our time every week trying to help.
Yes, sir. I love it. And like I said, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.